Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC. Today, I'm going to be talking about these two Kizers that I got from the pass around group. We have the mini Militaws and the full-size Militaws. So let's go ahead, take some time, and check each one out. All right, so let's start with the mini Militaws. So first off, I just have to say, honestly, let's pull the other one in for a second. When I first saw these come out, I really wasn't too excited about it, just because of that shape. You know, they have just kind of a squared body. They have just that normal kind of drop point shape. But I was just kind of like, okay, cool. It looks good, but nothing like really jumped out at me as I need to get one of those. But when I had the opportunity to take a look at them in the pass around group, and seeing everybody else getting a chance to talk about them and say how great they are, I couldn't pass up an opportunity to get my hands on one just to experience it for myself. So let's talk about this one. So this is the mini Militaws. They are available right now on Kizer's website. This particular one in this, availability with the Nitro V and G10, and we're going to talk all about it. In this look is $59.36, which is a really awesome deal for some really cool products that they are putting out. So especially you got a PVD coated Nitro V blade, and you have this G10 in the red, and then they're calling this Party G10 Damascus for the inlays on this. So again, it's a nice, cool little color. Each one's going to look a little bit differently as far as this inlay. So you could get some that have nice blues and greens and pinks and yellows. And then on this side, you don't really have a whole lot of colors on it. It's just the way that the cookie crumbles when it comes to that Damascus. I've worked with some of this actually before, not in this format or color, but I've worked with some of that Damascus, and it's a really, really cool material. So let's talk a little bit about this one. This is a front flipper liner lock drop point. They're calling that a drop point blade. It's kind of an extended clip point almost with the swedge, but looks really, really good. Now this is right about the size that I like. The blade length on this is 2.82 inches. If you really want to get a look at it, let me get my ruler so you guys can take a look at it. So with the ruler, we're just under 3 inches when you're talking about the tip of the blade to right here at the beginning of the handle. You're right at just under 3 inches, and the sharpened length is exactly what they say, 2.82 inches. Overall, you're 6.7, so just under 6 3/4. So you're right there at just under 7 inches overall. And the weight is 2.66 ounces. Again, this one comes with this PVD coated blade, and it is Nitro V, which is an awesome choice. You have the deep carry pocket clip, but the clip itself is not recessed into the scale, but the screws are recessed. So you got that nice bent clip, nice shape to the clip, and it fits in the pocket very nicely. The bill isn't sticking up too much. You do have some milling on the inside of the frame. You can see that. You got the steel liners, and you can see some of the milling that they removed out of there for weight reduction, and the access to the lock bar is fairly nice. I wish they had put some champering on the lock bar. You can see it is just completely squared off. I wish they had put a little bit of jimping on, or a little, not jimping, but just kind of chamfered that off just a little bit, just so that it's not so harsh on the finger when you're reaching in. I mean, it's not terrible, but as a small knife, it is a little bit more difficult to do the front flipper, at least for me, but I'm getting more proficient at it the more that I play with it. Very comfortable in the hand. You have to, for this one, the mini, I have to choke up with my finger all the way up here next to the blade for me to get all 4 fingers on there. You can put your finger in where I guess you should but you're only getting really 3 fingers on there, maybe 3.5. I don't mind choking up. That puts me all right in here and gives me a good purchase on the blade. And for my everyday carry, this is an excellent. The blade shape, again, they're calling it a drop point, which is fine. They can call it whatever they want. And I don't like getting into the argument of what this actual blade shape is, but it is very useful. So if you're trying to open a box, you're trying to cut anything, has that nice belly, and it is nice and sharp. Again, nice fidgety, nice and smooth action. And for, what was that price again? $59.36. It's not a bad deal to take a look at. So that is my thoughts and all of the specs on the Mini Militaws. All right, next up is the regular, or the, I guess, the normal Militaws. So this is the larger version of the Militaws. Everything is pretty much exactly the same as far as the shape and blade shape, but this one has just a couple differences. So again, we have G10, and you have the Ultim inlays that have that nice milling on it for grip. It's nice and grip. You have that nice chrome pocket clip, again bent clip, deep carry, same deal as before, where the clip itself is deep carry, but it's not recessed, but the screws are. And really that much isn't going to get caught up in my pocket. It might not get caught up in your pocket either. This time the blade is 154 cm. So this is a little bit different blade steel. Again, you got that nice belt satin finish on this blade, and it looks really, really nice. Both of them do have a little jimping there. This one is really nice. It's right there. It's not too aggressive. It could have gone a little bit far forward to be above the thumb hole maybe, but it's really not terrible. And on this one, the handle is big enough where I can put my finger right at that finger groove and really get a nice purchase on the handle. So the full size Militaws is another great option for if you're looking for a larger knife. In this configuration, it is $62.96. So again, $62, 154 cm, G10 with the Ultim. That's, again, not a terrible deal at all. You can choke up, and it's super comfortable. Again, the liner lock has plenty of access to get there. Again, no champering or anything on that, so you got to be able to get it. And the front flipper on this one is so much easier to manipulate for me personally, but if you're really proficient on a front flipper, you might not have any issues with either one. But yep, the action is superb, and both of them are very, very smooth. Detent is good on both of them, not too terrible. So you can kind of hear that one, but both of them are really, really good little blades for the budget, in that budget realm. The issue is this. I've been telling people about these and showing some of these on some of my live streams, and you guys have spoken. The biggest feedback that I've gotten is that Kizer has just released so many of these. They have in total 22 different models to pick from. And when I say models, they have 22 different options, maybe. Options might be a better way to put it. There are several different options of the Mini, and several different options of the full, and they have the fixed blade. So you have the Mini, you have the full, and the fixed blade in several different options. And I know that can be sometimes confusing. And I think what happened here is Kizer flooded the market with these, and people are so tired of seeing them that they're not interested. And that's kind of a shame, because these really are a great option. I know looking at the handle, you're just like, that's kind of just a square handle. There's nothing really crazy. But once you get it in your hand, it does make sense. Both of them are contoured, so you do have the contoured scales, and that makes a big difference in the hand. Again, both of them have that nice little contouring here, and that gives them very comfortable in the hand. I especially like the mini. That is right up my alley. Let's look at some size comparisons on these. I tell you what, let's put them both out, and so we can compare and contrast all together. First up, we're going to use my regular knives as size comparisons. We have the Rat 2. Again, the Rat 2 is going to be smaller than the full size, which, by the way, I didn't give the dimensions on that. The overall on the full size is 8 inches, and the blade is 3.36 inches. The Rat blade, obviously the Rat's going to be a little bit more the same size as the Mini, and the actual Mini is actually a little bit smaller overall than the Rat 2. So very cool to look at. Let's look at the Elementum. We're going to be right about the same. Again, the Elementum is just a touch bigger than the Mini and much smaller than the regular Militaws. And then the last knife that I always use for my size comparisons is my Para 3. Again, as far as the handle goes, the handle is closer to the size of the full. The full still got it by just a little bit, and of course, the Mini is going to be much smaller overall than the Para 3. So there you go with that. So these are two very cool options from Kizer. Again, the budget realm. This one, $59.36. You're getting G10, the Damascus, the Nitro V with the PV coated blade, liner lock front flipper with the opening hole to do all of the different deployments. And then again, the full-size Militaws is $62.96, 154 cm for a nice big beefy blade that could probably take all of your cutting needs that you would ever need. So very, very cool that I was able to get on the pass around group for these two knives, and I was looked forward to having them in my pocket, and it's going to be sorry to see them go, but they got to move on to the next person. So thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. Again, the choice is always yours.